welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made my Flora top. I'm not going to make this intro too long, so let's just get right into it. First thing you're going to need is yarn, of course. Next you're going to need a crochet hook. I'm using a 4.0 millimeter hook, measuring tape, crochet needle, and stitch markers. This is optional, but you can also add ribbon if you like. That's what I added for the first top that I had made. I recommend using the ribbon though because it's really cute. Anyways, let's get started. So let me just preface that this is not a beginner friendly tutorial, so if you don't know how to make a slip knot or double crochet or single crochet, I'll have some videos linked in my description so you guys can watch that and figure out how to do that, and then come back to this tutorial. So to start, we're going to make a slip knot. Just like this. I'm going to chain 25 to start. Depending on how wide you want your corset to be will be the deciding factor of how many chains you do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so we have 25 chains, and then you're going to chain 1. So we're going to start by placing our hook into this chain right here. So we're going to skip this one chain that we made. So we're going to place it right in here, and we're going to place it into the back loop, if you guys can see that good. So we're going to do a single crochet into the back loop. So pull through again, and then I'll show you guys in the next loop. See this one right here? Right here, we're going to place our hook. Place our hook right into there. Pull through again. Just like that. And then you're going to keep doing that. So pull through. Okay, so now that we have the first row done, just doing single crochet into the back loop, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and then we're going to go into this chain right here. So we're going to skip this one. Every time we chain 1, we're going to skip that first chain. We're just going to place our hook into the back loop. And you're going to do the same thing that you did for the first row. Okay, so I finished the second row, and so you can see it's starting to get that ribbing effect. That's what we're going for. So we're gonna do this until the corset wraps around about 3/4 of your body, and I will show you what I mean by that. I'll do it from the back so it's easier to see. There's about this much space left. I don't even know if this is 3/4, but when you just pull it naturally, no stretching, there should be about this much space. Let me see if I can measure it. About 8 inches of space. But I will say that is for people that want that like tight fit. It's not gonna feel tight or suffocating, but it is gonna snatch you up. So I recommend that over making it a little bit bigger because this does stretch. It stretches a good amount. So go ahead and finish doing your rows and come back to me once you've done that. Okay, so the corset is finished. Now we can move on to the loops. Let me just preface, do not make the mistake I did. Make sure you are counting your chains as you go to make sure that you're not decreasing. I accidentally decreased somewhere in the row. So this side is 25 while this side is 24. It's not a huge deal, but it does affect the sizing of the loops. To start, you're going to take your hook and you're going to place it into the first chain. Then you're going to go ahead and take your yarn to hold it with my pinky and then wrap my index finger around the yarn just so I can get a good grip, because you're going to take the hook, you're going to pull the yarn through just like that. Make sure you leave decent amount of. We're going to go ahead and chain 5. From the little chain right here, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to place our hook into the 5th stitch. And we are going to do a slip stitch. We're going to do that again. So we're going to chain 5. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skipping the first 4 and placing our hook into the 5th chain. We're going to keep doing that until we reach the end. Okay, once you finish that, you should have 6 loops, and then you're going to do the same to the other side. Forgot to add that we're going to take the yarn from the beginning that I told you to leave a decent amount left, and we're just going to tie a little knot. Moving on to the bralette part of the top, we're going to first make a slip knot, and we are going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to find the 4th chain, which is going to be the first one right here. And you are going to place 2 double crochets into that chain, skipping the other 3 chains. So first one, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And then we're going to do it one more time into that same chain right here. Pulling through, you're going to pull through 2 and pull through 2 again. This is going to be the start of the bralette. So once we've done the 2 double crochets, we're going to chain 2, and then as you can see, there are 3 chains. Ignoring the 2 chains that we just made, there are 3 chains right here. So in the first chain, we're going to place a double crochet. We're going to place another double crochet into the second chain. The third chain right here, we're going to place 2 double crochets. So it should look just like this. And then we're going to chain 2 again. We're going to turn our work. Once again, skipping the first 2 chains that we made, placing a double crochet into the first chain, and all the way until we reach the last chain. See the last chain right here. We're going to place 2 double crochets once again. And we're chaining 2. And you're going to repeat that all the way down, and we are going to do 21 rows in total. So 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do 21 rows in total, so 18 more rows from here. So do all of that until you have 2 bra cups. And you should have 2 triangles like this. I'm going to add the straps to the bralette. So I first start off by just placing my hook, honestly anywhere at the top. Okay, and then I just grab the yarn with my pinky and hold it with my index finger just so I can grab the yarn with my hook. And then you're just going to want to chain 50. Okay, so now that I've chained 50, I just go ahead and cut this string and then pull through. Once you finish that, you can go ahead and tie off the string, and you can go ahead and cut the yarn or weave in the ends. Okay, so to make the rows, we're going to start by chaining 46. So once you've done that, we're going to place a double crochet into the 6th chain. I'm going to place our hook through and make a double crochet. Just like that. So once you've done that, then we're going to skip 2. So 1, 2, and then into that 3rd chain, we're going to place another double crochet. Like that. We're going to chain 2 and place another double crochet into that same chain. So essentially we are going to be doing V-stitches all across the row. So I'll show you guys one more time how to do it. So skip the first 2 chains, 1, 2, and place double crochet into that 3rd chain. Chain 2, place another double crochet into that same chain. So you're going to repeat that all the way down the row, and I will come back to you guys once I finish that. Okay, so I finished my row of V-stitches, and now we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. So for this row, just keep in mind that this is going to be the V-stitch that you're going to be placing double crochets into, not this one. So for reference, if the triangle is facing down, that's a V-stitch, and that's where you're going to be placing your double crochets. So start by placing a double crochet in the first V-stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to place 2 more double crochets into that same V-stitch. So it should look just like this. We're going to skip the next hole, which is this one right here. We're going to skip this hole, and we're going to place double crochets into the next V-stitch. So we're going to place 2 double crochets into this hole right here. 1, 2, chain 3, and place 2 more double crochets into that same hole. Just like that. So I'll show you guys one more time. So skipping this hole, we're going to place 2 double crochets into the next stitch, or the next V-stitch. We're going to chain 3 and place another 2 into that same V-stitch. So it should look like this. So you're going to do that for the rest of the row, and I will come back to you guys once I have completed that. Okay, so I'm down to my last V-stitch, and for this one it's going to be a little different than the last ones we've done. So we're going to only do 1 double crochet into the V-stitch. We're going to still chain 3. And then we're going to go back and do another 2. double crochets. Okay, so similar to the first one that we did, it's just one double crochet, chain 3, and then 2. Now that we've completed the second row, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work. We're going to first start by placing 7 double crochets into the first hole. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7. So just like that. Then we're going to add 1 single crochet into the tiny gap right here, right there. And then we're going to repeat again and do 7 double crochets into the bigger gap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then once again, we're going to place 1 double crochet into the small hole. And then you're just going to repeat that till the end. Okay, so I finished the row, and so once you reach the end, you'll notice there's a little hole right here. This is that chain 2 that we made in the beginning. So we're just going to place 1 double crochet in there just to close off the row. That I rolled up my rows was just going inward, but if you want a different look, you can do an outward version. You kind of just have to play around with it to see what looks best. And then you're going to take a crochet needle and just sew it together. Okay, so now that we have all of our pieces, we can assemble our top. So first want to figure out where you want to put your bralette. So what I do is I just take the corset and I wrap it around my body. And if you have string left over, that's perfect. You can just tie it, but if not, you can just take a stitch marker or a safety pin or whatever you'd like to secure the corset. And then I just flip it around. And I already went ahead and attached. I want it to start. So I place a stitch marker right here. So let me show you how I did it on the other side. So I want a little bit of a gap. So I'm gonna leave about this much. Just like that. And then I take my bralette. See how that looks. I like that. So then I just take the stitch marker and I attach it to the bralette as well, securing it like that. And that just gives you a good guide to follow when you sew it together. And make sure that you have the right side facing up, because when we go to sew it, we're gonna flip it over and sew going along that way. So then we pull it up, it looks just like that. So I went ahead and attached the bralette to the corset, and then I also went ahead and added the flower as well. I attached the flower to the corset part, and you should have a top that looks just like this. At this point, you can go ahead and add the ribbon to lace up the back, or you can do a chain, which is what I did. I did a chain of 110, and you are all done. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. This was definitely a relaxed tutorial. This is my first tutorial, so bear with me. I also have a pattern for this top if you prefer a written version. Down below if you have any questions or have honestly any advice for what I can do to improve my videos, because I'm always looking for that. And I'm sorry that the video is a little blurry. I still need to figure out how to work my camera. It doesn't really focus well, but hopefully that'll be improved by the next video. Follow my socials if you like, they're in my description below. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.